Hi, I am Jen Cohn, class of 1993, Emerson graduate, BFA in acting, and I am here today because I was invited by the ever fabulous Emerson Esports gang to come talk because I voice Farrah in the game Overwatch. I'm like thrilled. The last time I was back to campus was 5 years ago, so that was the first time that I got a sense of the scope of what Emerson has turned into. I mean, when I went to Emerson, there were like 4 or 5 dilapidated brownstones and a rented church and 3 haunted dormitories and a crumbling building on Brimmer Street in the flats of Beacon Hill. So to say that it's changed a little bit is an understatement. Like, it's outrageous. What's nice is that across the street from where we are right now is the Majestic Theater, and the school acquired the Majestic while I was here and was a student, and the little building. So there are the little familiar touchstones, but it's like a totally different school. Wow. When I think of well, I vividly remember I was dancing on a pillar, like on a platform, during a tech rehearsal for The Miser in the Black Box Theater on Brimmer Street when we were getting in the returns for the election when Bill Clinton won the presidency. And we were all so excited. And so we had the Beastie Boys blaring. And I just remember like being in costume in a tech rehearsal, dancing onto this pillar, like rocking out and being so excited and having like, it was my first time I'd ever voted. So it was really exciting. God, there's a lot though. I mean, Emerson was a very special place for me. I remember being on stage doing a production of Museum, Tina Howe's play, and that was, I think, the first straight play that they did at the Majestic. So I did that. That was incredible. There were so many parties. I danced on so many tables. It was just, I had a magical time when I was here. Snowstorms while living on Beacon Hill and having to trudge through the snow to class. I loved that. God, I loved it a lot. I don't know. There's a lot. I think, well, okay, the training program was terrific and interesting and creative and rigorous. I had fabulous teachers. And I got to do a lot of different styles of work. I did a lot of different kinds of physical comedy and a lot of drama. And Kristen Linkletter, who's a Shakespearean actress, was here, and she taught us a lot about breathing and projection. And we learned a ton of technique and not a ton about how to get your feet indoors. However, in general, being at Emerson, there was a lot of hustling taught. So I feel like where you didn't learn how to hustle necessarily in the performing arts department, you did learn how to hustle as an Emerson student because you were constantly trying different things and cross-pollinating and taking a course here and trying your hand at this or that. It was cool that way. And with a curriculum like that and with a program where you had to make it what you were going to make it, like everybody at Emerson has a different experience. Everybody learns different things. Everybody gets to do different stuff. And in a school like that, the more self-motivated you are and the more you're willing to get your hands dirty and try different stuff, the more experience and the more excitement you're going to have and the richer your experience will be. So that taught me a lot about hustling and not being afraid to bang on doors and try things that weren't expected, and learning how to figure out your way into a door or into a discipline that wasn't necessarily where you were supposed to be. So that was an Emerson taught lesson. I didn't know that I would be a voice. I hoped to be an actress. I hoped to be a performer. I hoped to be successful. I hoped that it would all work out. I hoped to be in New York. So most of it, yes. I don't know that I knew I would be a voice actress, but I really liked voice acting. I first tried it as a senior in college, and I really enjoyed it. So I was happy when things turned out that way. Like it was the right direction for me. And I always loved being big vocally. So it made sense that that was the direction I went to. So no, it doesn't look exactly the way I thought it would, but I think that if I was an Emerson student and I saw what it would look like in the future, I would be very pleased with how it all went. So
Awesome.
most of my friends who went to Emerson do not have careers in the thing that they majored in. All of my friends who went to Emerson have really rich, interesting lives and have really interesting creative careers. All of them, to the man. And I have a ton of Emerson friends. So I don't think you should worry about it too much. I think that what you should do while you're in school is just keep trying everything. If anything turns you on, go try it. Even if you're saying, oh, that's not my major, or I don't know how, I don't want to be embarrassed, put that aside and go and try it, because the school affords such incredible opportunities to try things in like outrageous facilities. And that's access you don't get until you go pro later. So try everything, do what turns you on. You have no idea how your specific interests are going to come together and become the career that will become your career. Everybody has a different path, and everybody's going to do it differently. So really, seriously, don't worry about it. That would be what I would say. Like, don't take yourself so seriously. Just keep going, do what turns you on, it will work out. I can't get over the globalism of it. I can't get over that there is this form of entertainment that is also your social life, that is also how you can find your romantic life, that's also your sporting event, that's also where you meet all your friends. I mean, the idea that it's this one platform where all of these major life events happen, where you go out into the world and learn who you are. I mean, situations that test you, but it's all in this virtual world. I'm amazed by it. I mean, I'm grateful for it. I still keep getting like overwhelmed by the scope of it. I think it's really cool. The community has been wonderful. So I've really enjoyed meeting everyone, and everyone has been so nice. So I like it if it looks like how it seems here at Emerson. Because it seems like everyone at Emerson still knows how to look at each other and speak to each other and engage and interact with people who are outside of their gaming circle. I don't know if that's how it is on every campus. I mean, I know that Emersonians tend to be particularly articulate, and direct. So, with hopes that all gaming groups can do that, then I say great, terrific, hooray, go for it. I would like to think that the gaming communities don't take away in other schools from kids' ability to interact in real life. That's a concern that I would have in college. I think that such a big part of being in college is learning how to interact with people and how to interface successfully, and something that you need to do in life forever. So to skip that for being in gaming seems foolish.
Right.
What I love about Farrah is her sense of right from wrong, is her sense of justice, is her sense of really wanting to do good in the world, of her being dedicated to that cause. And I love the fact that she's human, that she's a girl with mother issues, that she's a girl who is trying to like get through life, but it doesn't hold her back. I also love that she's so incredibly macho, as it isn't like another superhero female character in like a cat suit with her cleavage falling out everywhere. I like that she actually has armor and she's tough. I feel like she's a very good role model for women. I like that she is been part of this organization and is so dedicated to it. She's an inspiring character to play. When I first auditioned for Farrah, I got the description of the character and I misinterpreted it because I heard that she was Egyptian and aggressive and a warrior and a first-person shooter game, and I thought that she was a villain. So my first take was this very villainous Farrah, which I laugh about. I actually just listened back to it, and it's like this really like kind of evil Farrah voice. That was what I did in my audition when I sent it in, and I promptly forgot about it. And at the time, the game was they were sending out auditions under a code name, under the name Prometheus. So I'd gotten an audition for Prometheus, and I had a character who had a different name. It wasn't Farrah, and I did this Egyptian villain audition, sent it in, promptly forgot about it, never thought about it again. And then about 6 months later, I got a call from my agents that I had booked this character Farrah in a game called Overwatch for Blizzard, and that I had a session on my birthday to go in and record. And I said to my agent, they made a mistake. I never auditioned for anything called Overwatch. I have no idea what you're talking about. There must be another Jen Cohn. They've screwed up. And she said, no, it's you, go. So I went to the session, and I got on the phone with Jeff Kaplan and Michael Chu and Andrea Toyas, and said exactly the same thing again, and said, guys, look, I'm sorry, but you made a mistake. It must be another Jen Cohn. I never auditioned for this. I think that, sorry to waste your time. It's not. And they started laughing, and they said, no, it's you. And they played back the villain Farrah audition. I said, oh, it's that. It's this thing. And they said, yes, it's this. They said, but she's not a villain. Think of her as Captain America. She is the Captain America of the game. Okay, and that was the session where we found the voice. People. I see the gang a lot. I mean, it depends on when. Like Carolina, who does Sombra, was living in New York. Lucy, who's Mercy, is in New York. So when the two of them were in town, I would see them both more regularly. Lucy's back in New York now, so I just saw her. And then if I'm on the West Coast, I see Anjali always. Who I just saw Chloe in Paris, who does Widowmaker. I just saw her, so that was really nice. I just saw Sar, who does Doomfist, because he's got a show, so I saw him last week. So I see the gang pretty regularly. Like whoever we have access to, we tend to get together. And then also when we do cons together, like we really travel as a pack. Like it's a gang together. I was just in the Philippines with Fio, who's Zenyatta, and Anjali again, and with Carolina. And so we went everywhere together. It was really fun. My favorite moment of anything Overwatch related was I went to BlizzCon this past year, and I was totally unprepared for how big and what was coming for me when I went. Like I really, really had no sense of it. So it was like walking into a different dimension. I had no idea that that's what I was walking into. And there was a voice actor panel that I was on where I walked into this room and saw, it was thousands of seats. It was thousands of seats. And I said, like, thousands of seats to see this, and went backstage. And then I heard that there was it was like a waiting room only, like standing room only. No one could get in. The doors had been closed. And waiting on the side of the stage for Andrea Toyas to call me out, to come out and say hello to everyone. And walking out that first moment and seeing everyone was outrageous. Was just, if you were to watch the tape of me on that panel, you can't get the smile off my face. I'm like a grinning idiot the whole time. Every time that the question comes to me, I keep saying, I just can't believe what's going on here. This is so crazy. So that was my favorite moment. That was outrageous. I have no awareness of when they'll be doing an event. The way it works is I get called in for a session. A session is usually 4 hours. Occasionally it's only 2 hours. I get called in, depends on when. Sometimes it can be as frequently as every couple of months, and it can be as infrequently as every 6 months. So it's 2 to 6 months, generally somewhere in there, and I'm in for 2 to 4 hours. I'm alone in a booth, so it's not like I'm with anyone. I have a voice director and Michael always, and occasionally somebody else will jump in. And they're just in my headphones. They're not in the room with me because I'm usually in New York. Although the last time I did a session, I was elsewhere. But usually I'm in New York to do it. And it's fun. They tell me what the context is of what I'm saying. Sometimes I find things out that I understand where things are going, or that it's a spoiler towards something. And sometimes I don't know. I just know I'm responding to lines, somebody else's storyline. So yeah. I've got a few.
You got a few?
I have a few, yeah, because she's so good. I always love, I've got you on my radar. That's like a fave. But then there's the ultimate, which it's hard to do the ultimate sitting, but I'm going to have to try to do the ultimate sitting. Okay. Justice reigns from above. Hard sitting. It's better standing.